Okay, well now we have a really special treat. I mean, you've heard that startups sometimes have difficult relationships with their investors. Well, let me tell you, this is not a difficult relationship. These people invented the slogan, if you work hard, you play hard. I'd like to welcome Itxaso del Palacio. She is the investment director at Notion Capital. They invest in B2B startups based in London. And also Sammy Rubin, the co-founder and CEO of Yulife. Now, Yulife is not your normal company. Yulife is not your normal company. Stand up, Sammy. Let them see the giraffe. See, Yulife is about life, and the giraffe is the biggest animal with a heart.
Yep.
Excellent. So, hello, everybody. I hope you are enjoying the South Summit this year. I'm Itxaso, and as you could figure it out already from my accent, I'm Spanish, but I'm living in London. I've been there for 10 years. I had the pleasure to invest in Yulife a couple of years ago. I'm an investment director at Notion Capital, and for those who don't know Notion Capital, we are probably the only B2B SaaS-focused Series A investor right now in the UK, invested across Europe. I know there are a couple of them in Spain, and we work very closely with them. And we just closed our fourth fund, in fact, 150 million. So you can go online and like it and tweet it and all of that. It was announced this morning, and you can read more about it there. But we invested earlier this year in Yulife. With Sam and Sammy, the founders. And we have here, Sammy, I think you can introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit more about Yulife, right?
Okay, yeah. So Yulife is a new life insurance company. And we decided to create a new type of life insurance company, which up till now, life insurance has been very much about death. It's been very much about fear. And it's all about guilt and sort of guilting people into buying life insurance really for when they die. But we wanted to create a new company that was more about inspiring life and helping people live their best lives. And that's our mission, is to really inspire people to live their best lives, inspired by our giraffe. Giraffe has the biggest heart of any land animal, so it's inspired by love, and it's about love being you.
Excellent. So I know that you come from the insurance space in the past. You've been working with a couple of insurance players. Tell us a little bit more about that, and why did you decide basically to start this new company?
Okay, so I started a company actually when I was in my final year university with my late father. And I was doing a degree in computer science, and I built the code for this new startup, and we built it from our house. And it grew quite quickly from our living table into one office and then another office, and then we actually floated it on the London Stock Exchange. And I eventually sold that business. I was still in my 20s, and even though I had some sort of success then, inside myself, I felt really burnt out, like physically, emotionally, spiritually. I felt really disconnected from myself. So I had achieved, and I've been on the circuit of building and building and building, but it was at the expense of myself. So I went traveling, and I went around the world really seeking new technologies that would help rejuvenate myself, mind, body, and spirit. I met my wife. She was running a wellness center in Arizona. I learned about meditation, I learned yoga, I changed my diet, and I became very much into wellness and lifestyle. And then I came back to the UK, and I was inspired to build a new type of business. And I wanted to bring a company that brought together wellness and financial services. So that really led to Yulife. I had one venture in between. I was the founding CEO of Pru Protect, which is now Vitality Life, which is a large life insurance company in the UK. I was the founding CEO of that. And then now I've been building Yulife to really reimagine life insurance.
Excellent. And so the topic of the panel, in fact, is around how wellness and health basically improves the bottom line in many of the companies, right? And it's pretty well known, in fact, that when founders and managers sleep better, they perform much better at work, right? But it is not only about what you do outside your office, but also what you do inside your office. And you spend 8 hours at a place, more than 8 hours. Usually 8 is the minimum that we spend, right? We work over the weekends. In fact, I was reading about a study which said that of managers and senior executives work over the weekend, 70%, which is a pretty high number. So what is the product, what does the product allow you to do so that you can help your employees be healthier over the day, during the day, not only when they sleep, which is very important too.
Okay, so Yulife, first of all, Yulife, a company would cover all their staff with life insurance. And then every employee would get our Yulife app, access to our app. And the app is really a gamified experience where you actually enter into what we call the universe, which is different animals, and you go on different challenges. And the challenges are very simple, everyday activities, like a 10-minute walk, a 30-minute walk, or a 10-minute meditation. And when you do these challenges, you earn Ucoin. Ucoin is our currency of well-being that we've created. It's the currency of your well-being. For every mile you walk, you earn 1 Ucoin. And we have a relationship, for example, with Avios or Iberia with air miles, so you can exchange 1 mile that you walk for 1 air mile. So we go into a company and all their staff can walk a mile and earn an air mile. Or they meditate, let's say, using a Calm app or using Headspace or one of the mindfulness apps for 2 minutes. They earn a Ucoin. They can exchange it for Amazon vouchers. So the idea is to intersperse your day with simple wellness activities. So to weave those small activities into your everyday so that your 8-10 hour day becomes punctuated with different bits of mindfulness, walking, well-being activities. So that changes your whole experience.
Fantastic. So obviously you are partnering with many big corporates and big organizations to provide benefits to employees through their wellness activities, right? The healthier they are, the more Ucoin they earn, and the more benefits they get at the end of the day, right? And so you've been talking with many corporates around the world. Can you tell us a little bit more about what has been the response? Are organizations, are corporates overall open to be working with health and wellness and be supporting in terms of brand, still a small startup?
So the amazing thing is that corporates these days are really looking for wellness. They want to integrate wellness into their companies, and they often don't know how. They may provide an app, and no one really uses it. Or they'll bring in a yoga activity, and maybe just a few people will go. So they're really struggling to actually bring wellness. At the same time, many of them provide life insurance, and it's just a tick box. Their employees don't value it. They don't even know they've got it. So what we're doing is we're bringing wellness and insurance together. And the response from companies is really great. Our engagement stats have actually exceeded our own expectations.
In fact, people use the app continuously, and you use dashboards, right?
Yes, so we use dashboards. So we have dashboards where employees can compete against one another to see how much Ucoin they've earned, how many steps they've actually gone that day, or how much meditation they've done. We're finding that 4 out of 10 of our monthly users are engaging with our app every day.
Oh, wow.
So the average life insurance company has a touch point with their customer of maybe 1 or 2 a year. So we're getting on average 120 touch points a year. So people are engaging with us. We can go on a random Wednesday evening and we see who's actually on our life insurance app. And you wouldn't expect customers to be engaging with their life insurance company on an average Wednesday evening, but we're just seeing how many people are doing that. So companies are enjoying it because they're seeing simple changes in their employees' productivity. They're actually getting a happier workforce, and this all helps the morale, and it just creates a better bottom line.
And so you are working with a lot of HR departments, people's organizations, right? And so tell us a little bit more about, independently from Yulife, when you get to those organizations, are you feeling that they are taking care of the health of their employees? Do they have a budget for it? Are they creating a budget for it when you get in?
Yeah. So much more now. I think there's been a real case of especially mental well-being. There's been a real issue that companies are realizing that the old way of working, of just pushing your employees to work, is unproductive. And the best companies are realizing that they have to invest in wellness for their employees. So they're doing lots of different things. They're bringing healthy food into the workplace.
That's right.
They're bringing in yoga teachers. They're encouraging walking meetings. So a lot of companies are encouraging the meetings outside the boardroom, go out of the office and have meetings outside. They're encouraging mindfulness sessions during the day. So companies have latched on to the fact that it's to improve the bottom line, you have to get into the heart of everyone, and you have to help people be their best selves. And the only way to do that is to really unlock everyone's potential. And each person is different. So some person may want to walk, some person wants to go to the gym, some person wants to eat well, some person wants to do yoga. And it's important to have all these offers available so that people can really live their best lives.
I think it's pretty amazing that as an investor, when we invest in technology and we think we would like to invest in technology with a purpose, right? You don't need to have an impact investor title to really be investing in companies which are democratizing access to education, to wellness, and to a better lifestyle, which I think is very, very important for everybody, but that's fantastic. So for now, you are in the UK, you are operating in the UK.
Yes.
You just raised 10 million,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
With some investors.
Yes.
I hope you are happy with them.
Yeah, and we love our investors.
But I want to ask you, what are your goals for the future? How do you think you can expand? Because this is a very regulated industry too.
Yeah. I mean, we have big expansion plans. I'm just talking about the investors. I mean, in terms of the investors, fortunately, there was a lot of interest in what we're doing because it's a big space, life insurance. In terms of the mission that we're on, we were attracting a lot of investors. But we really looked for investors that had experience in helping companies scale. That was our one big thing. But then we really went for investors that we felt had a shared values with us. And so, fortunately, when we met you, Itxaso, we saw that you believed in health
I'm
and
definitely
wellness.
sold.
You run your spinning classes in London, and
It's a secret.
and you love health and wellness. So we looked for investors that had shared values because it just makes the conversations much easier around the board table.
That's right.
So we're really happy with our investor base. I mean, you look for companies.
I have to say that in our portfolio companies, we've invested in 60 companies, and probably if there is any other investor in the room, for us it's incredibly important to have our founders get into this mental, personal, and health. I mean, taking care of their health and being really healthy. Otherwise, it is very difficult to run a company. Probably many of you are entrepreneurs, and you know how hard it is. And I just don't even want to mention the work-life balance, because I think that's even kind of a myth. Even being healthy, having a relaxed conversation with your employees and so on, it creates such a good attitude and culture internally. And for that, obviously, you need to feel good yourself to be able to embrace that within the company, right?
So that's important for us.
That's great. And the second question I was asking is about the expansion.
So our expansion plans, the UK is a big market, so we really feel that we want to do our utmost to do our best in the UK, but then we are being approached, and we are looking overseas as well, because we're being approached now by different insurance companies around the world that want to create a new model, a new risk model for life insurance, and also a new way of engaging their customers.
So you're working with other insurance companies around the world?
Around the world, and we're being approached, and we're looking for partners around in different regions and different companies that we can partner with who are interested in looking at our platform as a way of engaging their customers and a way of really creating a much better experience for their customers.
And you probably would need to look for local partners to give the rewards.
Yes.
Obviously, Iberia British Airways is a pretty global brand.
Yes.
But you are looking also
Absolutely.
for
So in each so for example, today even in Spain, I mean, we are starting to early discussions looking at different countries, and we've got a deal, for example, a relationship with Avios or Iberia, so that would work here. We have a deal with Amazon, so Amazon vouchers, but there would be various reward partners that we would need in each region. But our mission really is to build a new global brand for life insurance that is really about inspiring life and really helping people live their best lives and change life insurance from a grudge purchase, from something that you really don't think about, you don't want to buy, or it's fear-driven, into something that you really want to engage with, something that you actually look forward to engaging with, and you see as a really valuable part of your life.
I see. And so when you go to your customers, you are selling to other businesses, right?
Yes.
So when you go to your customers, they probably have some sort of insurance in place for their employees. So how do you go about telling them, hey, we are bringing here a nice application which will allow your employees,
Yes.
right, to be healthy. How open they are to move from the old insurance, or are you just gaining customers which didn't have life insurance before? Which sort of customers are you working with?
Okay, so we're actually seeing both types, but companies who have life insurance,
Yep.
what they're struggling is they're already paying for life insurance for their employees, but their employees aren't even valuing it. They often don't even know they have life insurance, they don't know the provider, and therefore suddenly we approach them and we say, for the same price that you're paying, you can get leaderboards, wellness days, you get this app where you can earn air miles for walking, you get competitive spirit for the same price, all within your life insurance.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a no-brainer for a company, hopefully, to move across them. And that's the journey we're going on now. But we're also fortunate that at the moment, 60% of our customers have never had life insurance before. So a lot of our companies, because it's been very complicated, it can take weeks, people don't often think about it, especially a company, let's say 100 people, they wouldn't normally think about it. But now with Yulife, they can just log onto the internet and they can buy it in minutes and they can have life insurance for their staff. So it's
Basically,
a very simple way.
you can onboard your employees directly online.
Directly online.
That's fantastic. So I believe all of this needs to come from the management team, up from the top, and everybody needs to be promoting it. And I have to say that when I got in the venue today, I saw somebody with a pink T-shirt looking for his headphone set, and I went to him and it was Sammy, and I asked him, "Are you on the phone?" He told me, "No, I'm meditating." And he was right sitting in the middle of the stage around there with all the people around. So what would you say is the most important part for all these founders, entrepreneurs, managers that we have in front of us? What would you say, what is the key advice that you will give them to promote that health within their organization?
I think, first of all, it's really important to find your own purpose. You know, really, why are you doing something? To really look deeper in, that beyond the money and beyond the ego, beyond the recognition from friends, family, what is really driving you as an individual? What is your purpose? I mean, you can really connect to that purpose and then find a business or find something that really aligns with that purpose. That will open up amazing, amazing blessings, amazing doors for you. So that's really the big advice. And the second thing I would say is really look after, as founders and entrepreneurs, we really, as a community, need to look after ourselves. And I think this old macho culture, oh, I've only had 3 hours sleep last night, isn't it great? And I can do everything, and I'm sort of Mr. Universe or whatever. I think we're moving into a new age now, where we actually have to look at wellness in its totality. You know, life is a marathon. It's not like just a 100-meter sprint, and we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to make, and that leads to good decisions in the long term. So really, those are my 2 pieces of advice.
I think they are great pieces of advice. I hope everybody takes them on board, and I agree. We just need to take a little bit of time and think about it, and I'm pretty sure we can make that happen. But thank you so much, Sammy. Thank you so much, everybody, and here we are finished then.
Great.
With the panel.
Thank you very much.